Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to make these three letters ABC. This is actually going to be a kind of a series. I'm also going to do all the letters over time, but this video is going to be for ABC. But if you have any preference for certain letters, then let me know in the comments below, and then maybe I'll do those before I just go straight on to D, E, F. So let's begin. Okay, so for these letters we're going to be using some DK light worsted weight baby yarn, but you can use any yarn that you like. I've chosen to use some pale blue and pale pink, and we're going to be using a 3mm crochet hook, but of course you can use crochet hook that's suitable for the yarn you're using. It's always a good idea to have some scissors and a yarn needle as well. And I think that's it, so let's begin. So the first letter we're going to begin with is of course the letter A, and the idea behind these letters is that there's going to be virtually minimal, as much as we can, sewing, so you can just make it in one piece. We'll see how we go. I've done ABC so far, so we shall see. So the first thing to do for the letter A, I've chosen to start with the pink using the 3mm crochet hook. We're going to chain 30. So chain 30. Do a slip knot and chain 30. 1, 2, 3, 29, 30. Okay, so when you've chained 30, we're going to do 1 double crochet, so yarn over. And we're going to do that in our second stitch from hook, so we don't count the loop on our hook. There's our first stitch and there's our second. So going into that second, I'm going to do 1 double crochet, like so. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 13 chains. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and that's 1, 13. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do next is then we're going to do 5 double crochet in the next stitch. So in the next stitch, next chain, we're going to do 5 double crochet. So we do 1, all in the same stitch, so go back into the same stitch, 2, back into the same stitch, 3, 4, and the last one, 5. So they're all worked into the same stitch, like so. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 14. That's 1. Should take you to the end. 2. And the very last chain, which should be 14. There we go. So that should basically use up all your chains that you chained at the beginning. So you should have the outlines of an A taking shape. What we're going to do though is we need to work on the bit over there, and I don't like sewing, so I'm not going to do any sewing. So what we're going to do is we're going to work a couple of slip stitches across the bottom now, just to get to this corner here. So I'm going to go through, literally through that last double crochet, just as neatly as I can, and just work a little slip stitch. The reason I don't go into the gap is it makes it too gappy, so I do it through the actual double crochet. Then in that very first, that little chain there, and do a slip stitch as well. So now we're at the corner, and what we're then going to do is we're going to slip stitch up 4 stitches as well. So I'm going to do an extra one in that first one, extra slip stitch in there, just to give us a little bit of shaping around the corner. And then I'm going to go into the next chain as neatly as you can and do a slip stitch. And then in the next chain, do a little slip stitch. Get the other side out of the way. Then in the next chain, do a slip stitch. And then the next chain, do a slip stitch, like so. So it looks a little bit like that. So you've ended here and just slip stitch around and up by about 4. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, like so, making sure they're all nice and flat. We need to find the other side of our A, and you want to count up 5 double crochets. So the first one is hidden under there. There's our first double crochet we did. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in that chain there, next to our 5th double crochet up, you want to put a hook, and you want to bring your yarn around the end of the A and in between the hook and the A, and we just yarn over and do a slip stitch to join those chains to the other side of the A. Okay, so make sure it's in the 5th one up. Then what we want to do is we want to slip stitch up a couple more chains on the edge of the A. So we're going to slip stitch in the next stitch. Let's put your hook the next stitch up and do a slip stitch, and then again in the next stitch up and do a slip stitch as neatly as you can, so it looks a little bit like that. You should be up there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, and now we're going to work into these chains that we did over the middle. So just yarn over and finding that first, the last chain that you did, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that one there. I'm going to double crochet 2 together, so you want to go into that first chain there, bring it through, and yarn over and pull through the 2 as if you'd be doing a double crochet. We're going to stop there, then yarn over and go into the next stitch, next chain, bring the yarn through, so you've got 4 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, you've got 3 left, then yarn over and just pull through all 3, and that double crochets 2 together. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 2 chains. So go into the next chain and do a double crochet. There's one. And the next one in the next chain. And in the last 2 chains, we're going to double crochet those 2 together as well. So I'm going to go into the next chain, yarn over, go into the next chain, pull the yarn through, and then do almost a double crochet and stop there. Yarn over again and go into the last chain on the corner there, bring the yarn through, so you've got 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, so you've got 3 left, and yarn over, pull for the last 2. And then what we need to do is rejoin it to this side. So where it left the side of the A, you want to count up 2 stitches up a little bit, just because you don't want to join it right back there because it will distort. So I'll get a better angle so you can see. You want to count 2 chains up and put your hook in there, and then I'm going to get my yarn that side of it first, and then put my hook through and bring the yarn through and do a slip stitch like so, and the next one down in between I'm just going to go into there and do a slip stitch as well, and then that should be it. So we're going to cut our yarn, pull up, then we just need to hide our tail ends, but you can see the shape of the A like so. So I'm going to hide these tail ends with a yarn needle, just neaten these off. So I'm just going to go to the next stitch along like so. Make sure that's nice and tight. And I'm just going to sew over to the other side just to make sure it's still nicely joined. Go through a few more stitches and come back in the opposite direction. so. Oh, come on, Mum. And then just trim the excess down. I'm going to do the same for the other tail end. I'm going to hide this tail end and I'm going to come back and show you the finished A. Okay, so there's our finished A, and what we're going to do now, we're going to do the B and the C. I'm going to show you those as well. As you can see, it's a little bit bendy like so, so you may want to block your letters, and to block, all you need to do is to pin the corners into the shape that you want it onto a board or something, and then just get it wet, and then so it dries in that position, and then when it's dry and you take the pins out, you should see that it loses that crocheted loosey shape that sometimes you get. So I'll have to show you how to do blocking at some point. Anyway, there's the A, so let's move on to the B and the C. Okay, so I'm going to do the B in the blue for a bit of contrast. And to begin the B, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 36 to begin. And the B was a bit harder to design. So let's chain 36. That's 1, 2, 3, 36, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 double crochet in that second stitch from hook. So we don't count the loop on a hook. There's our first, there's our second. So 1 double crochet in that second stitch from hook. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 11 stitches. So the next 11. So that's 1 double crochet, 2, and 11. So you should have done 1 double crochet in the next 11, just up like that, just along. And then we're going to double crochet 5 stitches together. So we need to double crochet 5 together. So to do that, we're going to go into the next chain, bring the yarn through, and then just begin your double crochet, but stop, don't finish it. Yarn over again, go into the next chain, then yarn over, pull through 2, so you've got 3 loops left, but stop. Then we yarn over again and go into the next stitch, bring it through, yarn over, pull through 2, so you've got 4, then stop. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring it through, small yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, so you only ever pull through 2, then you stop, then yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring it through, yarn over, pull through the 2, and then so you should have 6 loops, then yarn over, pull through all remaining loops. So all you do is you just pull through the 2 until you've gone along to the 5, and then still pull through 2 at the end, and then just pull through all of them, and that double crochets 5 together. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3. So that's 1 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and 1 double crochet in the next stitch, just in the next 3 like that. Then we're going to double crochet 2 together. I'm going to do that 6 times. So to double crochet 2 together, it's the same as before. We go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, but stop your double crochet, yarn over again into the next stitch, put it through, and pull through 2 and stop, yarn over, pull through all 3. That double crochets 2 together. We need to do that 6 times. So that's the first one. That's the second one. That's the third one. Fourth one. 2, 3, 4. 5th time, and the last double crochet 2 together, pull through 2, stop, yarn over, next stitch, bring it through, pull through 2, pull through all 3. So we've double crocheted 2 together, we've done that 6 times. Then we just want to do 1 double crochet in the remaining 3. So that's just 1 double crochet in the last 3. So 1, 2, and 3. You may think, oh, I've run out of chains. What about the rest of it? Well, this was the bit that I spent a bit of time trying to figure out and how to design. So that does it should look a little bit like that. So you've got the top part of the bee like that. What we're going to do now is we're going to slip stitch in the 4th down. So what that means is from that top corner there of the bee, top left corner, you want to count down 1, 2, 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then in the 4th one, making sure that your yarn's that side, you put your hook in that 4th one down from the top. And we're going to do a slip stitch. So just bring that through everything. So you've slip stitched. And then what we need to do is we need to slip stitch down 2 stitches, but we need to join as we go. Now this is a bit tricky because we're going to put our hook, that last double crochet we've done on this loop here, we're going to put our hook through the middle of it. Just like that, just as neatly as you can. And going over to the main part of the bee into a proper stitch, we put our hook as well. And we're going to slip stitch through everything. And then we find the corner on the loop, put your hook in the corner, then find the next stitch on the bee, main part of the bee, proper stitch. And I'm going to slip stitch that through that stitch, through that corner, through the loop on our hook, like so. So you've joined it together like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 single crochet. So you want to turn your bee upside down like so, and then the next stitch along on here, you can see the next stitch along on this curve, I'm going to do a single crochet like that. Then in the next stitch along there, we're going to do a half double crochet. So yarn over, go into the next stitch as neatly as you can, bring it through, and do a half double crochet like that. Then yarn over, and in the next stitch along, we're going to do a double crochet. It'll be a bit tricky getting it in there. Double crochet. So you've sort of done that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So just chain 9. Okay, so when you've done that, what you want to do is just turn your bee around a bit, and then the 3rd stitch up, I mean there's your first double crochet stitch that you did, and then the next one and the next one, the 3rd one up. So 1, 2, 3. In that 3rd stitch, just put your hook again, get your yarn that side of it, then put your hook in because it's easier to get yarn over. And you want to bring that through, and you want to slip stitch those chains to the bottom of your bee, but just slightly up from the bottom. And once you've done that, you want to slip stitch down to the very, very bottom. So in the next double crochet on the main part, we're going to slip stitch down to there, and then into that very first one, slightly on the corner, we're going to slip stitch into there as well. And then you want to turn your work, because you want to work back into these chains. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 double crochet in the first chain. So find your first chain. or your last chain that you did, and do a double crochet. Like so. And do 1 double crochet in the next 2 as well. Just 1 by itself in the next chain, then 1 by itself in the next chain. Okay. So it should look like that. And because you slip stitch slightly up from the bottom and slip stitch down, it means the length of the double crochets match up with what space you'd left at the end, if that makes sense. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next 6. So we go into the next stitch and we do 2 double crochets. So that's 1 and another one in the same stitch. Okay. And then in the next chain we do 2 double crochet as well. 1 and another one in the same chain, 2. So we are. And then in the next chain we do 2 double crochet, 1, another one in the same chain, 2. So you're working some increases, and then in the next one you want to do 2 double crochet, 1, 2. Then in the next chain 2 double crochet, 'and then in the last one you should have 1 left. I'm just going to pop a hook in there and do 2 double crochet in there as well. 1 and 2. And then what you want to do is slip stitch just onto the side of the bee here, just slightly up where it looks nice and neat. So about there again, get the yarn that side of the stitch, just putting a hook in there neatly. I'm going to work a slip stitch, just tighten that a bit, work a slip stitch, and then come down a bit in between, just like we did for the A, a little slip stitch in there as well. And then we're going to fasten off any remaining gaps we can just sew up when we hide our tails. Pull that through, and there's your bee. Should look a little something like that. And again, you might want to block your letters as well so they lie flat like so. But I'm going to hide this tail end to get our yarn needle. What I'm going to do is a slight little gap there, so I'm just going to sew that remaining gap closed. And then I'm going to take it to the back and hide my tail ends on the back. And the bee is probably the most complicated one so far. I haven't designed the other letters yet, so as you'll see, I look forward to S. There we go. I'm just going to hide the other tail end as well, and then I'll come back and show you the finished letter. Okay, so I've hid the other tail end, and there's our finished bee that definitely needs a bit of blocking to stay flat. And now we're going to move on to the C, which I'm going to do in pink. So I'm going to add that to our alphabet so far. So then we're going to get our pink, and the C is a lot more easy. The C, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 25. So chain 25. 1, 2, 25, and then when you've finished chaining your 25, we just need to do 1 double crochet in our second stitch from hook. So again, don't count the loop on your hook. There's the first, there's the second. Then we need to yarn over, go into that second stitch, and we're going to do a double crochet. Some US terminology. And then in the next stitch we'll do 2 double crochet. So that's 1 and another one in the same stitch. You've got 2 in there for an increase. Okay, you've got 2 in there. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Oops. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. 1 and another one in the same stitch, 2. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. That's 1 and another one in the same stitch. Okay. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. 1 and another one in the same stitch. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 8 stitches. So that's 1 double crochet in the next 8. So that's 1 in the next stitch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you've done 1 double crochet in the next 8, so it goes quite a bit more straight. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. 1 and another one, same stitch. Then 1 double crochet in the next stitch by itself, just 1. Then 2 double crochet in the next stitch. 1 and another one in the same stitch. Then 1 double crochet in the next stitch by itself. So you're constantly alternating apart from the length between increases and just one by itself. And then 2 double crochet in the next stitch. 1 and another one in the same stitch. Then 1 double crochet in the next stitch by itself. Then 2 double crochet in the next stitch, the second to last stitch. 1 and another one in the same stitch. And in the very last chain, we're just going to do 1 double crochet. So in the last one, I'm just going to do 1 double crochet, like so. Okay. And then fasten off. Pull your yarn through, and there is your finished C. and when you block it, it should stay in its shape a bit better. There we go. So I'm going to hide these tail ends and then I shall come back. Okay, so there's our finished C, and the C is probably one you definitely want to block. I imagine some of the other more curly letters will need to be blocked as well. But there we go, there's our A, B and C. There we go. So there we go, and I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you managed to follow along, and these were designed to sort of minimalise the sewing, so I hope it wasn't too fiddly. And I shall see you soon for some more crochet fun. Thanks guys for watching, bye! Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is a quick answer. I don't have any pins for blocking. Here's. Just a quick iron and that certainly sorts out the C. Cheers guys, bye!